Hello, this is Jill Sharfman with a very special episode of Let My People Eat. Lily Aronin is a certified holistic nutritionist and certified 2B Mindset mentor. She's a contributor to Joy of Kosher, the Israel Forever Foundation, and Tel Aviv English radio and TV stations. There she shares her tips for thoughtful, family-friendly, healthy recipes. She found Alana Muhlstein's 2B Mindset program after having difficulty losing her own pregnancy weight in her 30s after her fifth baby. Now she guides people on a healthy food adventure and mentors others with the 2B Mindset program for sustainable and happy weight loss. Hi, Lily.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on. So in episode 65, we interviewed Alana and we talked about 2B Mindset. And as part of that, I said that I was going to try the program, and you and
Absolutely.
I found each other, and you were going to hold me accountable for trying to, as much as I'm a nutritionist and I eat healthy, sometimes we all need to be kind of taken back on track and make sure we're doing the things that we need to be doing. So let's talk about how we started. So you and I started talking, and
So we actually, we connected on Instagram because I'm also a holistic nutritionist, and I love really just looking into how people relate to food and enjoying food and nourishing ourselves every single day. And especially as Jewish women, kind of taking ourselves out of the more food culture and putting ourselves into the nourishing, part of our culture and how we love to give other people food and nourish people. So I was really inspired by you and your podcast. And when we connected, it was, sparks.
Right. So we went ahead. So I had access to 2B Mindset through Alana so that I could kind of see firsthand. So the first thing that we talked about was the videos that were available, and that watching the videos will really explain and give more depth to everything that the 2B Mindset program is about. And it took me a little while to start watching the videos, right?
Yes, definitely. And that's what accountability is for with a coach. A lot of times, we buy the new thing that we hear about, and it kind of sits in our inbox, or we've purchased it, but we're too busy to really give it the time that it requires to be successful. And then we get mad at ourselves for no reason, when really we just need that outside accountability and some patience to give ourselves to really dive in and really be ready to commit and see a life change.
Right.
And that's how at least it was for me as well when I was first getting started.
Yeah, because one of the things that I learned over this journey is that being inconsistent does not get me the results that I wanted to see.
Absolutely. And really also, I think anytime, especially when we feel like we're eating healthy, and as a nutritionist, your diet was great in terms of health when we started. So it's really hard, at least it was for me when I started my journey, to shift from healthy in every size and healthy in the body that we're in right now and saying, well, I want to be healthy for a different result. Right. So what will that look like, and figuring that out?
Right. So you had me do something very interesting. We did a visualization exercise when we first started working together, really getting into, it's not just about the weight loss, but what do I look like if I follow this program, mentally also? How does that change my thinking, and who do I want to be? Why am I making this commitment? Is it and it is really to get healthy. And yes, I did want to lose a little weight, but I thought that was very important that you brought in the mental part of it. Just stop and think, what is your real purpose? Because if I couldn't identify what I was really trying to do, it would be much harder to make the commitment and stick to the plan.
Absolutely. And I take all new clients, or any client who's even hit a plateau or is unsure where they want to go from here, into a visualization exercise like that, because you really have, it's so hard to be consistent, and all of the results come from consistency. So if you don't have a burning desire to achieve that next level of life, then you need to be able to see, what does that person look like? Like, what's her life like? What are her habits like? You know, if she's not relying on food to get through the day and the ups and downs. So what other tools does she have? You know, how confident does she feel? What baggage has maybe she been carrying along with her that she's going to set down? Right. And I think that's the beauty of how a holistic mindset really approaches a change that's in the physical body.
Right. Yes, for sure. The other thing that you had me do was kind of create a 2-pound chart, because one of Alana's things is it's 2 pounds at a time. So it's not like the finished line is very far ahead for anybody who wants to embark upon this, but it's just concentrating on those 2 pounds and then rewarding yourself once you hit, you know, those marks along the way.
Yeah, to me, it's actually a little bit deeper than that, because I notice that I have clients who really lose super fast. They lose 50 pounds with the 2B mindset in 6 months. And I have clients that have a much slower rate, maybe a pound a week. So you're talking about a little twice as long. Mm-hmm. And I saw that actually the ones who went slower were happier at the end than the ones who went faster. The ones who went faster had about 3-month curve till their mind and body caught up with each other. And it really made me dig into that idea of 2 pounds at a time, that if you really celebrate every 2-pound weight loss, like it's the last 2 pounds, then you're not going to be stuck in this dichotomy between who you were and who you are now and what happened in between. You really are moving into each new space with your whole self. This is where I'm going. Okay, I'm here. I feel comfortable. I'm going to the next 2 pounds and the next 2 pounds, and allow it to build mind and body together.
Right. So I learned a lot from doing this with you. One of the things that did not happen, though, is that I actually didn't end up losing weight. And I think that was because, as we were talking before, mentally, I really was not committed to the program the way I needed to be.
Absolutely. But I would tell anybody else who is afraid of that, there's a learning curve, and it's not for everybody. I know for me, for example, when I wanted to get on a budget, right, it was really hard for me, and a lot of baggage around that issue. And so there was a big difference between when I first bought my first book on budgeting to when I actually started my budget to when I actually stuck to my budget for a month. Right. And it was a pretty big curve. But once I started, and I actually really committed and said, okay, I can see this happening for myself, it can really continue to build momentum.
Right. I feel like you get in the zone. Like all of a sudden everything clicks and nothing's hard. Like you're drinking the water and you're doing veggies most, and you're really kind of, it's not a struggle. So what Lily and I are doing, she was very generous. She has offered to work with me for another 4 weeks. As long as I make the commitment, I have to finish watching all my videos. I have to participate more in her community where, on Facebook, let's say, and post my trackers and kind of do videos and just be more active in the community so that I do up my commitment to this and not just let it be something I'm putting on the side and not really, because I do want to make some more healthy, good changes in my life. And like I said, I need somebody to hold me accountable. And she's just been so great. She's very positive. Anytime I had something like I hit a bump, like I said, Lily, I'm not tracking. And she said to me, well, have you moved your tracker? And I'm like, actually, I have, because I always work at my dining room table, and we were having some work done in the house, and I wasn't able to be at that table with my tracker every day. So I'd moved it somewhere else, and it was like, yes, that's why I'm not tracking, because it's not where it's always been. So thank you, Lily, for always being able to step up and have an answer and have a reason for me. And I owe you a tank top now, because
you do. That is true. Yeah. But you know what? I think when you mentioned outer accountability, mm-hmm. The reason the group is so successful, and a huge part of, I think, a lot of people's success in our community, especially us Jewish women, is we need a safe space to talk about these things. Mm-hmm. Where also we're not being judged for wanting to make a change, but we're also not just being thrown the next diet and the next diet, the next diet. We're like willing to do the work and share the recipes and talk Shabbos strategy and talk kids growing up strategy and kids, we have people from Israel, kids going to the army. We have people from New York, kids going away to camp for the summer, and everybody's stuff that they bring into the group that normally you kind of just swallow inside, or you meet with your friends over a cup of coffee and a piece of cake. And instead here, you're taking pictures of your water bottle, your To Be Mindset water bottle in all of the, interesting locations. We have everybody takes it on vacation. We should have like a vacation photography, like book of all the places that the bottle has been. And we get together once a week on a group call and we have a topic, a mindset topic or a nutrition topic, and we just share what's working for us. Because a lot of times I feel like I'm the leader of the group, but really people learn so much more from each other than they ever could learn from me. I'm just one person. And what's beautiful about this is that anybody can do it and anybody can change their life.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I really believe in the program. I like the way it's been set up. So, some of the things that I've learned. So Lily was talking about the water bottle. So I'll post the link on to the bottle on Amazon. But what it is like a 32-ounce bottle. It has a straw, which was life-changing because I've had the other water bottles where you have to always unscrew the top. This way, you just pop it open. You can drink while you're driving. You don't need two hands to use your water bottle, which is really awesome. And I keep it filled, and it's right here next to me in the studio right now. So I definitely drank more water over the course of the time that we've been working together. And I only drink water, and I always thought I was drinking a lot, but not nearly as much as I'm drinking now. And the
water bottle also comes with the To Be Mindset. And then you get it also with all of the sayings from the To Be Mindset, which like when you're at a wedding or an event is like a little bit helpful to have somebody cheering you on from your bottle.
Yeah. No, it was very, very eye-opening to me that that water bottle can make such a difference. And then the other thing you always kept on saying is, when I was getting frustrated, you would say, you may not be losing, but you're learning. So can you just talk about that a little bit more?
Absolutely. And I can't take credit for that because it is Alana's, and is an Alana-ism. However, I like to think that I'm the Pirush on Alana. And to me, when she says, when you're not losing, you're learning, that's exactly where our success is going to come from. It's that habit that is keeping us from losing right now, that when we change it and we figure out, okay, what's the trigger here? What's the coping mechanism I need to employ?
Right.
That's really going to set us in the next 10-pound weight loss.
Right.
And really the stuff that when we look back, we're like, yeah, I lost 78 pounds, but really I changed my life. When you want to say that in a program, it's not a diet, it's a mindset. And that's where the magic happens.
Right. Great. Okay. So I guess I'm going to be accountable to everyone right now. And you and I are going to start working together again now that I'm in it and committed. And I will. Well, I'm making you
a super accountable because you have 2 weeks while I host a bat mitzvah.
Right. to get a running start.
Every single video. And I will tell you this to anybody who wants to commit to any change, whether, it's in your weight or your budget. We have so many people who go from the To Be Mindset to dealing with their budget. So I have to mention that because, because sometimes that stress can really go together.
Yeah. Makes total sense. Okay, so you can get in touch with Lily at Lily Aronin, Aronin. She's on Instagram. She's on Facebook. So, kind of reach out to her if you have any questions about, To Be Mindset and starting the program. You can also follow me on Instagram at Jill Scharfman. So, Lily, what 3 things would you like to leave our audience with?
So the 3 things that I focus on most when I'm dealing with clients are anxiety and how we use food to cope with anxiety, and really holding on to your water bottle and remembering that when you're drinking water, you're actually triggering calming sensations in the body. So super helpful if you're an anxiety eater. Number 2 is mom guilt, that time, dinner and done, finishing bedtime routine, and maybe it not going the way you want it to go. If you have young children, again, I really recommend that you have a protocol for the evening for how you handle those emotions, whether it's, sending a text to your husband, okay, this is how bedtime went, having a friend, having a special show you watch, having something that helps to separate how bedtime went from the rest of your evening. And number 3 is Shabbat. And really remembering that Shabbat is the most special, exciting, fantastic time of the week. And that you never has to be something where you're afraid to go into Shabbat because of food. And when you have a holistic approach to the TV mindset, you really see that it is food freedom on Shabbat, and you can pick the things that mean the most to you.
That's great.
My one tip is choose ahead of time.
Did you say choose ahead of time?
Choose ahead of time. Like if you're going to have challah, enjoy it. Decide how many slices you're going to have before the challah gets to the table. Mm-hmm. Ideally in that morning, and make sure that then you need to eat a good lunch before you go into Shabbos to then know that what you need to do to make that amount of slices of challah happen. Right. And it's the impulsivity that gets us on Shabbat just because the food is around for so long. It's not so much the special treats that we're having, it's the impulsivity.
Right. So yeah, I find that if I fill my tracker out Friday afternoon, that definitely holds me more accountable as I'm making choices over Shabbos.
And you can enjoy it and look forward to it and enjoy the anticipation of those special Shabbat treats like a kid, rather than that adult who doesn't have anybody telling them, one piece of cake is probably enough.
Yep. True.
Which we shouldn't say to our kids either. But
right. All right, Lily, thank you so much. We'll continue this conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And I love all the episodes. People should definitely go back and listen to all the back episodes.
Oh my God. Thank you.